The time that everybody was waiting for is finally here. The result of extreme modernism and the result of extreme traditionalism have been accompanied by a random guy who no one knows about and no one gives a flying fuck about. Get the fuck out of here. Who is this guy? Anyway, this is the shittiest interview of all time, obviously, that encompasses everything that's wrong with the world today from both fucking ends. From both ends, motherfuckers. I'm not gonna pick a side here, right?
Of Bonnie Blue sleeping with 1,057 men.
How honest should I be out of 10?
I want you to be honest.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, go on.
I don't understand why men sit here and try and lecture you about it. I don't understand why men sit here and say you shouldn't do it. It's your body, your choice, right? This is the world we now live in. This is the end result of feminism. You are the perfect end result of feminism.
But this is not what feminism means. Correct me if I'm wrong. Feminism just meant that women can do what they want in the sense that they can work and vote. I don't think feminism, at least one of the initial waves, meant that this is what a woman should be. So why is he mixing what Bonnie Blue is doing with what feminism was initially supposed to be? I don't know what's happening in England. I have no fucking idea. I don't know what women are doing there. I don't know what they perceive feminism as, what men perceive feminism as, but from my understanding, it's just basic rights, man.
They want to get married like Sex in the City style. You know, like you fuck a million men, then you get married to some really rich guy who lets you do whatever you want. Then you have an affair with the gardener, and then you spend all his money, and then somehow you're still the victim. That's the kind of marriage they want.
That's
they
most
don't
women's
want
dream.
That's right. They don't actually want to be wives, because wives are obedient, and wives are quiet, and wives listen. All women say this. I want to marry you, I want to marry you. Wait till you're in an argument with them and read their messages and go, this is why I will never marry you. This is why I will never marry you. I read their messages and they don't realize that they've ruined their chance forever. I cannot marry you because of how you talk. A wife doesn't do this.
As I said, one extreme versus the other extreme, and this is more of an Andrew Tate show from what it seems like, because she just doesn't know how to fucking handle herself in a conversation like this. There are so many times in this podcast where she's trying to say something, but Andrew just kind of ignores her, and he just continues talking about whatever he's talking about. I did read some comments as well. It seems like people, man, you have to admit, people fucking love this guy. I think liking a guy like him is just purely animalistic behavior. The reason I say that is because the people who like him don't really care about every little detail of what he has to say. It's more about just what he stands for. And they like the idea of what he stands for. And of course, he comes off as an aggressive guy, a confident guy as well. And people like that, man. This entire podcast, it's like 148 minutes long. And the entire thing just revolves around sex. That's the only thing these two can talk about. And of course, there is a porn star here and the other guy is fucking famous for being a retard. So that's kind of there, but it's just that, man. Why is it that everybody who has really gotten famous from YouTube or the internet, and I'm talking like really gotten famous, just happens to be a pure retard? Before the internet, the famous people were likable people. That was one of the requirements for being famous. If back in the 90s I was to ask you, hey, do you want to hang out with, let's say, Brad Pitt, or even Morgan Freeman, or anybody, man, Cindy Crawford, who the fuck cares? You're gonna most likely say yes to all of them. Today, we have these idiots.
Men risk their bodies on building sites and risk their bodies at war.
Yeah.
Men give up their bodies all day long for financial gain and a lot less money than you're making. And they hide their emotions to do it.
That's the same with every line of work, man. You have to kind of let your emotions go past for a bit and just do the job. I don't know why that's so specifically emphasized for men. When you're working, you have to kind of just put your emotions aside and just do the job. If you can't do the job, it doesn't matter how much you're struggling in life or whatever the fuck. No one cares. If you can't do the job, you can't do the job.
You're a soldier, you have to hide your emotions to do it, and you're risking your body to get paid or to do something that you believe you need to do for whatever reason. That's all you've done. I don't think it's a demon of any kind. I think it's just a very masculine mindset, and when a woman adopts a masculine mindset, it's quite strange to be observed from the outside world. They're like, wow, she's thinking like a man. It's kind of weird.
Well, I'm glad you think I'm not soulless. Otherwise, I'd say you're going to have to put soul in me. So,
for all the power in the world, perhaps.
imagine how powerful our baby would be.
Is she really that stupid? Holy fucking lord. How can someone be so stupid? I don't think she's realizing that he's making fun of her. He's being sarcastic. How can she not realize this? Man, you have to admit, Andrew Tate, for whatever the fuck he is, he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. He's a weird guy, but he's also a smart guy. Bonnie Blue, on the other hand, she's weird, obviously. She's also pretty fucking stupid.
Mindset, your mindset.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know if it was yours, though, would you?
Well, that's the problem.
DNA test.
Paternity must be guaranteed. You know, there's some things that we can trick with modern science, and DNA test is one of them. There's many things you can trick with modern science, but you can't override the evolutionary instincts that we have. And the evolutionary instincts for the man is to ensure paternity. That's the biggest instinct. There's nothing a man wants more than making sure that kid is his.
So when was the last time you cried?
I actually can't remember. Like maybe when my granddad died.
And did you ask, because that's the sense of how masculine a female is?
Well, I think it can be a pretty good measure. I mean, I know women who cry all day over nothing.
I'm just not a wet wipe.
Exactly.
Like if something goes wrong, on my OnlyFans, you know, I heard that. I was like, okay, well, fuck, what am I going to do? What's my next steps? What are my options? I didn't sit there and go, oh, I'm just going to cry and think the whole world's against me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the world can be against you, but what the fuck are you going to do about it?
That's right. She's very logical, which is a masculine mindset.
I think when I think of my life,
This is the worst podcast of all time. And this gonna go viral, man. This fucking gonna go viral. Honestly, that's why I'm watching this too. Just to react to it. Make a half-hearted video about it, man. Talk about honesty, right? Make a half-hearted video about it. And that's it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about either of these two. I really hope internet gets a little better. We get to see some talented people for once. How about that? Is this woman talented? Fuck no. Is that guy talented? Fuck no. Is that host talented? Absolutely fucking not. I hope that we get to see some talented people for once, right? Just do their thing. But here is the thing. This is the problem, right? When it comes to talent, people usually need a little bit of time to showcase their talent, right? The audience needs to be a little patient. And patience is long gone, motherfucks. Long fucking gone. That's the biggest problem. So instead we have these guys who gonna say one-liners after one-liners. I'm talking about Andrew Tate. One-liners after one-liners which are gonna make you go, fuck yeah man, he said that, fuck yeah. And it's just that. That's all we need. And most of the things he says don't make any fucking sense. Alright? Understand what the word feminism means, because things like these, they're very broad in terms of spectrum. So it does include this idea that you can just go around hooking up with anyone you want. It's not just limited to that. There is a lot more to it. And that's something that needs to be taken into account.